understand magic, okay? And let's get into it. So this is gonna be kind of a hot take, but I think there's one character who understands magic better than anybody else in the series, and she is top tier. So I'm gonna go ahead and get her in there. Right? I think we can all agree that serie is definitely like, the peak of humanity's magic. Like she definitely is like, so there's the reason she runs the whole, the association and everything. Okay, now let's actually do this. Frieren I would put on the same level because there was a point where Sari wanted Frieren to be her apprentice, and she was taught by Flammy, however you say her name. So I think those two alone shows that she has a very, very high understanding of magic. She understands that magic is imagination. That's the pursuit of magic, and this is interesting because they have two opposing beliefs, but one of the things I realize is that the true excellent ones are the ones who can't even be imagined, right? Because it's all about imagination. One of the best magic systems I've ever seen. And then going next, Fern. I would put, actually, let me put this. Let me change this up. I'll see. Yeah, I'll keep that beef. I'll change that later. Fern. I would put Fern as very high. Yeah, she's extremely high. I don't think she's on the same level, but she's extremely high as them because those two are like, like that. Those are like the goats of the series, right? You really can't beat those. But Fern was able to see the fluctuations in Sari's mana, which Lernan himself couldn't even see, right? That in of itself made her instantly want to be Sari's apprentice. And I think people who are first-class mages or who Sari wanted to be her apprentice already have a very, very high understanding of magic. I think we can say that without a doubt. I think that in time, Fern will be on those two's level, without a doubt. And it's just crazy because she's a human, so she has a shorter lifespan. So yeah, Fern is definitely going to be S tier. Yeah, I guess you could make an argument for SSS, but I would not put her there. I think that's overhyping her. Stark, I wanted to add this tier. This is the warrior tier. I think warriors understand it, but they can't really use it. So that's why I put them in the warrior tier, because they're not mages, right? And this isn't really for them to understand. Aura. I don't think Aura is on SSS tier, because the thing with demons is that they all dedicate their life to one spell, and it's spells that are beyond like human understanding, right? Just things that just don't that defy logic. I might have to create a new tier for demons, because I don't think Fern and Aura the demon are actually on the same level. I don't think I would say that though. Yeah, I don't think I would put them on the same level. So I'm gonna put, because demons spend hundreds of years studying their magic and everything, right? They know it so well. It's as natural, like flying magic to them is as natural as breathing, right? So I think they just have like humanity is getting to that point, like Fern is getting to that point, but I don't think Fern is on the same level as like Aura, one of the 7 sages of destruction, right? I think that's a crazy take. You could argue it, but I don't know. I feel like even if you were to say if Fern and Aura were to fight, Aura would obliterate Fern. No questions, right? Absolute annihilation. No doubt in my mind about that. She just can't beat that magic. So for that reason, I can't put them on the same tier. That just doesn't make any sense to me. Blay, I don't know. I mean, B, C tier. Like, he's obviously within the top 3 classes of mages, so he obviously has a very good understanding, but he's not on a Fern's level, right? And plus, he's kind of side character material, not gonna lie. So yeah, I'll keep him in B tier. Berg, I think Berg had a very good understanding of magic. Do I put him on S? I think I would put him on S, because he had a cloak that they literally used, because that was thought to be because magic is imagination, right? And that is our baseline, right? If magic is imagination, this guy had imagined a cloak that was indestructible. I feel like for you to perceive it like that and have others also perceive like that, you have to have a very high understanding of magic. That's kind of similar to Aura's magic in a way. Because Aura's magic is all about, oh, if I have more mana, I win, right? So if we those are both very interesting interpretations of magic, which I think are very reliant on a person's imagination and their perception. So that's why I would put that in S tier. Denkin. I think Denkin is definitely up there. He doesn't have any spell that's like super crazy, nuts, or anything like that. But I think it's his data IQ, and I think it's his understanding. Because I think characters who look at magic in similar ways to Frieren and Serie already are very high up. But because when we see him use magic and his reason for the magic and his reason for the spell, it's about the pursuit of magic, right? He thinks of magic as something that he can use as a tool, right? But he also loves it. And since he has such an interesting understanding of magic, that's why I would put him so high up here. And that's why I think he was such a good first class mage. That's one of the things that we see, and why Serie also recognized him, because he also has that ambition in him as well too. To even think for a second of trying to fight Serie, I think really goes to show his personality. Because another thing is that magic in this series is very heavily intertwined in the personality. And I think people with certain personalities will be like really good at magic or can go really far at magic, and those with certain type of personalities, they will hit a wall where maybe they can overcome that wall, but it's a lot harder to overcome that limit. And I think Denkin has a very good understanding of magic, what it's used for, and what he can use for it, right? Because that's another important thing is you can understand magic in a completely different way. Oh my bad. You can use magic in a completely different way, but you still understand it on a fundamental level of what it's supposed to be, if that makes sense. Dunst, I remember him. He's in the same tier as him. They're kind of same tier, because like they're here, but like y'all are kind of side characters, man. I'm not gonna lie, bro. But like they're obviously like top tier mages. Drought. See, Drought he understood magic very well, but would I put him above? I think I would put him in the same tier as Fern. Fern is like the gatekeeper of A tier. How would people understand magic? Because demons probably understand magic better, to be honest. Yeah, I think I would definitely say demons understand magic much better, because but they're not on the level of Aura the Darkness, right? I think I would still put Fern above, because I feel like Fern understands magic more deeply, right? And then I guess kind of understand like what is the criteria for understanding magic, right? I think in one sense it's how powerful they are, because I feel like your understanding of magic does kind of translate to how powerful you could be with it. I know there's some characters that kind of contradict that, but I don't think so, because magic, it really is a whole form of imagination. And I think that's one of the things that kind of limits some demons, right? Because Drought was very hot-blooded. He was very like, what is it called? He was somebody who wanted to do it. But he underestimated and didn't really understand his situation. So I feel like that aspect of his personality gave him a lot of overconfidence in his abilities. So I think he underestimated. I feel like if you underestimate to a certain point, you don't understand magic as well, because you cannot imagine a scenario where this and this and this can happen. That's what makes like Frieren and Serie so good, because with age also comes that understanding of this can happen, this can happen, this can happen, right? And that there's a lot of things that can go beyond my imagination. That's why I would put Drought here, because as a demon, he does understand magic very well. I might even put him in B. Hot take, I think I'm gonna put him in B tier, like top of E. Not even because he's weak. I just feel like he had a very interesting form of magic, which I feel like definitely shows his understanding of it. But it wasn't like, I don't think he really understood as well. Maybe if he had more time, but nah. I would put Edel in A, because emotional magic is, I think, one of the best examples of like understanding, right? Understanding how magic works, because how she uses emotional magic, and just to be able to use that, I feel like is a completely different form of magic than everything else. I feel like it's a lot harder for you to perform this, because it's probably something that's specialized to her. It's not really combat oriented, but it is very much about the truth of magic is about how you perceive it. And she uses it to peer into people's minds, to read their memories, which I think definitely shows she has a very high understanding of it, right? And if you're already top 3 mages, you're always gonna get a B tier or something like that, right? It's without a doubt, it's without a doubt. And then we have Ara. I think she's like A tier, I would say, cause she using like rocks and everything. The whole reason that people use those rocks is because it's more mana efficient than having to create something out of nothing. But it's just interpretation, right? Is it's a better fighting style. And they say, they were saying like, oh, she's the strongest one here and all that stuff. So I would say she has a very good understanding of magic. But they didn't really show anything, so I'll just put her there at the bottom of A tier. Aizen, warrior tier. Falsh, first class mage. He's probably gonna be like right below her. Haven't really seen too much of him. He seems like he has some interesting powers, but yeah, we haven't really seen anything from him. Flame, the great mage, who really brought magic to humanity, to be honest. Created the largest empire on the continent for magic, where anybody can use magic. She's definitely up there. I'd argue she's above Frieren. Maybe even serie. Yeah, I think I'd put her as the top, right? Because she did learn it from serie, but I think Flame understood it better because she had a shorter lifespan. So she made it that far with a shorter lifespan. And like they said, there's still barriers up that were created by her all that time ago. I think, like, I would put Flame above her. I think Flame understood magic extremely well. Extremely well. That's hot take, but that's what I would say. Ganats, I don't really remember you, I'm gonna be honest. I really don't remember this guy. But I'm gonna put him in like C tier. Oh, he was that one guy. Yeah. I mean, he's not even really warrior, so I'll just put him in like D tier, honestly. Genao. Oh, this guy. Yeah, I put him. Once again, we haven't really seen too much. But I feel like he's lower because he could not ever think of a world where the barrier was destroyed. And I feel like that's the problem, right? You have to be able to imagine yourself winning. If you can't, then you are extremely limited in this series. And I feel like he's a very straight-laced guy. Like, he's not an imaginative, creative guy. But he does understand magic very well. I think it's innate talent that really has taken him that far. Which I think is also another thing. Gorilla Warrior. Yeah, I don't even. Let's put somebody in C, I guess. C for Gorilla or something. Heiter. I think Heiter understood mana very well. I put him in S tier. Because he was an extremely adept healer. And I think, because I was kind of confused about priests and mages and like the difference. But it seems like the difference between priests and mages is that priests just use the goddess's magic, they use those scripture, but they still have a very high understanding of mana. If anything, Heiter might understand mana better than these guys. You could argue that. Honestly, yeah, I think I would put him above some of the first class mages. Because to be a very potent healer is very like, yeah, honestly, man. Because when people are really good healers, it's extremely impressive. But I don't know if that translates to I understand mana. I think so, because mana, actually, I'm not sure. Have they really said where mana comes from? Does it come from the goddess? I would assume the goddess was the one who bestowed magic upon humanity. So by understanding the scriptures, you probably do have a greater understanding of magic than anybody else. That's my argument. So that's why I would put Heiter extremely high up. Even though he was a corrupt priest, I think he understood mana extremely well. Himmel the hero. Now this guy, you realize how crazy he was, because he was like 20-something when he defeated the Demon King. Like, this guy was really cold. Like, I'm putting him atop of warrior. I should do like a power ranking one. I'll do it later. But yeah, I'll just put him right there. Kane, I would put, I think she understands magic very well, but I put her in like B tier, honestly, man. Like, I don't think she understands like the level of like the giants, right? But I think she does understand magic very well. But I don't know, I just can't take her serious, man. Like, her and Lawin always fighting, I was like, these guys are some goofballs, bro. And plus, like, only water magic. Like, I've seen her use other magic in the show, but like to only use water magic is good. But like, you could only really win in the rain. And like, why do you not carry any water around with you? Like, doesn't even make any sense. All right, let me save that for the power ranking video. Let me save that for that video. I'll save that for strongest characters in the series. This will probably look pretty similar, honestly. Kraft, I think is above Hyter. I think just because Kraft is a priest. No, he wasn't. Wait, Kraft is not a priest. Well, we've never seen him use any priest magic. Yeah, actually, I don't know. I really don't know. I should have like an unknown. I'll make this like unknown tier. And then honestly, man, I could just delete this row. Like I don't really know. Actually, hold on. I was thinking about this. Let me try. Let me do something like this. I have an unknown, and then I'll keep D tier right here. Change the color. I'll make it that. Actually, no. Let me make this one that. And then we'll just make this like that. Okay. Yeah, he's unknown. I just don't really know. We don't have enough information. Like Kraft is more of a warrior. I don't really think he's a bug like that. A guerrilla warrior, I don't even know, man. Landon, I would put him up here. Honestly, above Bird. He has an extremely interesting like fighting style. It's illusion magic, but his clothes seem to be like not just clothes. Like they seem to really be like copies of himself, right? And I think it's extremely interesting magic because since magic is born out of a person's personality, why would he develop a type of magic where he really has to like never leave? Like he did the whole exam while never leaving. That is bold. I think his boldness alone and his deep understanding of illusion magic, because I think like he's playing like 4D chess, right? He's the glasses character, pushes the glasses up, and then you know he got plans within plans within plans. That's why I think him and Übel are a really good duo, because you have like the straight-laced. Honestly, it's not even follow the plan. It's the, not even really straight-laced. It's the, I don't really care about any of this guy. And the very extremely nonchalant versus the crazy whatever woman. Like, that's a pretty good duo, I would say. So Sari knows what she's doing with those two. Lawfin, I feel like definitely understands magic pretty well, because she comes from some tribe that does that. I think they are like combat oriented, where they use like that one super speed spell, but it takes a lot of mana or something like that. So I would still put her on the same tier as these guys. Maybe I'll put her above all of them, because like this guy's like the gatekeeper. She's the gatekeeper. She's the gatekeeper. I think these are very fair gatekeepers, in my opinion. Unknown gatekeeper, like all that. I think these are very good. Lawin, I put her below her, honestly. I mean, Lawin understands magic very well. Her ice magic is quite potent, I would say. I just think she lacks some imagination for how she uses it, right? Because she just uses it in like the most basic way, where it's like, if I'm remembering this correctly, she doesn't need water. She can create the ice just out of nothing, right? Or actually, I need to check that, because she might need water. If she needs water, then it's the same argument as Kane, where it's like, just carry some water around with you. Like I don't understand. Like in Avatar, how Korra carries, just carry some water. Not Korra. What's it called? Katara carries some water around. Like just do that, bro. I don't understand that. Learning is the top tier. Him and I think he's above Hyter. Learn understands magic extremely well, but his personality is kind of what holds him back, because he's very like timid, and he isn't like, it's not about ambition or passion or some obsession. I think it's a goal, right? Because Frieren's goal, like all these people at the top tier have ambition, passion, or some type of goal. Even Frieren has it, even if it's like, even if she says she doesn't, she does, right? Learning, I feel like all he wants to do is just serve Sari. That's it. Like he never really had any crazy ambitions, but he was very talented because he was able to see the fluctuations in Frieren's mana. So he understands magic extremely well, but I think he lacks something, like some type of deeper drive which is why I think Sari sees him as a disappointment as well too. But I think just based off of his talent and obviously like some hard work or whatever, I think he understands magic extremely well enough to see those fluctuations, but not enough because his personality doesn't drive him to understand it like even better, right? Because it's also very, very personality based. Lagne. Yeah, I'm gonna just put you with that, man. I really don't know too much about Lugner. Yeah, he's definitely above. Man, right below, because he understood blood magic very well. He understood magic extremely well. Demons understand magic very well, but they're very, very prideful, right? Because they dedicate their lives to studying magic. So they don't really use like any like tactics or nothing like that, right? Well, actually, let me not lie. They use a lot of tactics, but when it comes to their magic, they show it like straight up. Like they have no pride. They have no shame or anything. They say, you're gonna know how powerful I am. I'm gonna show you constantly, right? So Lugner is very powerful, and he understands magic extremely well. All demons, I think, that are higher level are gonna be at least A tier. I think that goes without like saying anything. The demons are just on another level, right? There's a reason they're considered like predators of humanity. They have cultivated themselves to understand magic. Magic is everything to them. They dedicate their lives to a spell. And Lugner is no different. He was beaten by Fern, because I think Fern understood magic even better. But Fern had a teacher, whereas demons don't necessarily have teachers. They kind of just learn it on their own. They're very isolated creatures. So that's why I think that's what limits their understanding of magic. If they worked like humanity together, their understanding of magic would just go farther and farther and farther. But a lot of it is also an innate understanding as well too. Anywho, Linny. I think Linny would beat these guys. Crazy take, but I genuinely think. Actually, I don't even know. I don't really know. She was more of a warrior, but like not really. But that was her magic. I feel like imitation copy magic requires a very, very good understanding of magic. Cause it's like black box, right? You don't know how it works, but you still imitate it. And I feel like that requires a very high level of pedigree of magic. To just be able to look at it and imitate it without genuinely understanding it. So I would put her above them, honestly. And also, we did see more of her than these guys. So I think from what I've seen, I think she understands magic better. And demons just understand magic better, right? That's like their life's goal. Methode. I would put her right up below there. I never really liked her character that much, but the author seems to like her and keeps her around more. So that's good for her, I guess. But yeah, I've never really been too much of a fan, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I think she understands magic a lot. I think her understanding of magic is pretty good. Obviously enough to become first class. Oh, she did become a first class mage. Okay, now I'm looking at my list. I gotta make some revisions. How do I put Land above Fern? Yeah, let me change this up, man. Put him at the end. Okay, I think that's a lot better. Methode became first class, so she's also up there. I would put Berg above these guys. Like Berg, I feel like was a super like powerful character, man. I don't know. I would put the first class mages above them. Yeah, I still agree with this list. Let me know if you disagree. But I think in terms of understanding of magic, I think this is good. Orden, he's a warrior. I'm putting him in D tier, honestly. Quail. See, Quail was at like the top of his game. He really pushed humanity forward when they learned that spell from him, man. Like Quail was on a whole nother level until he was sealed away. And he came back and he was nothing. Like bro was nobody. And even then he was able to figure out the defensive magic and figure out a way to counter it so quickly. Like Quail was really that guy. He had a very good understanding of magic. And even the one character said like he's happy to see everyone using his magic. Even though it seems like he's not, he is, because demons are very prideful, right? They're very arrogant. They do what they need to do. Even though they don't have any perception of that emotion, I feel like even if you don't understand emotion, you can still act that way, right? It could be like, oh, that's why they're so isolated, right? They believe in their magic abilities so heavily, so much. So yeah, Quail is definitely high up there. He understands magic extremely well. Richter's up there, but I put him on the same tier. Like, would I put him above Richter? I don't know. I think I would put Richter on their level. Yeah, I think Richter belongs there. I think he understands magic extremely well because he could put those staffs together. Like, he's very talented. But I think demons just understand magic a lot better. Like, if this was like a power, like, because this isn't like a power tier list. I'll do one of those, but nah. And for this one, it's just nah. And then Sharf, who is this? Oh, that guy, the petals into whatever. Yeah, buddy, you're going here, man. Like, you understand magic well, but it's not like, you're not nothing crazy, man. Side, I think Side understands magic very well, but he's not, man, I don't know how good he is though. He might make like bottom of S. That, I know it's crazy take, but I think he understands magic very well because he's extremely talented in healing as a priest, right? And I feel like if you're extremely talented as a priest, you're very high up there because being a priest is already a lot more difficult than being like a mage, I would say. See, I think I would put him in bottom of the S. Sense is very high up there. I think I would put Sense like above all these guys because there's a reason they see Sense and they think that she's like unbeatable. And I think to the average person, to the average mage, right, Sense is definitely like a force to be reckoned with because her hair, like, she very well understands the concept of imagination and magic, right? Because she uses her hair, and her hair, she can turn it into any form, create anything, right? I'm honestly, from what I've seen, I put her above these guys. Yeah, I think it's because that is a very interesting interpretation of magic. I really do like that. It's very creative. Stoltz. Brother, why is this guy on this list, man? D tier. Who is Todd? Vol is a warrior. Warble. I mean, Warble understands for combat, but like, because it's two sides to it. Magic, if you understand magic as a tool, I think you have a good understanding of magic, but I think it also kind of limits it. I forgot because if we're doing this just from anime perspective, right? I'm just doing this from anime perspective right now. I think I would put him high. Yeah, I think he's more than Method, but since he uses it for combat, it's not so creative, right? It's just for combat, so it's not like the most creative thing. That's why I would kind of not put that up there, to be honest. Yeah, I think I think that's fine. I think he's below Land because Land is much more creative with it. I think as time goes on, we need to see more from Land, but I think Land could be high up there. And then Übel. Übel is the only other human I would put her, honestly, here. I would, yeah, maybe that's too ambitious. Actually, forget it, man. I think she is the highest in the series understanding of magic. I know. People be like, most overrated character ever. But her ability, Dispel, Razzle, Dazzle, whatever, Razzle can cut anything she can perceive to cut, right? Or cut anything that she thinks can be cut. So since she grew up watching her sister cut so many different fabrics, so many different things, it's honestly an incredibly broken ability. She understands magic so well. It's innate in her mind, right? Because it's, to her, this is how it is, right? This should be cut. It's not even like magic can cut this. This should be cut, and it's cut. It's that simple. It goes beyond the realm of logic, and she's gone so far into just one spell, the cutting spell, that it's everything. And she's so young. Like, what is she, like 20 or something? Like, she's so young doing this. She killed a first-class mage whose whole concept was indestructible, right? What is it called? It's like immovable force versus unstoppable object. The unstoppable object won. So yeah, all right. Let me not give a crazy take. I won't put her above everybody else because that is crazy. But she has that, and she also has the ability to copy other people's spells without fully understanding them, which Larian calls her a dumb kid. Which, I mean, we all know she's not dumb, but she understands it, I think, the best out of anybody in the series. But I think it is a crazy take to put her above all the rest of these guys, right? I think in time, she could definitely be above them. Actually, nah, crazy take, bro. I'm gonna put her above. I think she is the personification of magic in Frieren. I think she's the best understanding of it. But alright, guys, that's gonna be the entirety of my tier list. You probably disagree with a lot of this. Let me know if you agree. Let me know if you disagree with my reasoning or my logic for it all. But yeah, this is just what I think. This is my opinion. Thank you guys all for watching, and you all take care. Have a great day. Peace.